And we're live. Okay. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this event. Thanks for attending. So today we have Austin and Isabella from Climate Neutral. Climate Neutral is a nonprofit that provides a certification and label for brands that offset and reduce all of their carbon emissions. They were launched in mid-2019 and pretty quickly became one of the most widely known consumer standards for carbon neutrality. So today, Austin and Isabella will talk to us about what the organization is all about, how it plans to scale its impact over the next few years, and what are the current opportunities to help them out. So yeah, as I said, the event is recorded, and let us also take notes in a document where I'm going to paste the link into the chat. Let's take those notes collaboratively. In past events, people have found notes that others had taken very useful if they couldn't attend the event themselves. Yeah, with that, on to you, Austin and Isabella.
Great. Thanks, Eugene. Thanks for having us on. And I want to just turn it quickly over to Bella to get into the meat of our story. Yeah, and we can keep this just super informal. I'd love to hear what's on your guys' minds related to us, related to the opportunity to join us. I'll say, one of the fun things about being small, scrappy, a startup is things change quickly. Next year is a year we've got massive growth hopes around recruiting more brands, getting more consumer awareness. Fundraising is always an important driver for us. So some of our hiring plans in the second half of next year are a little fuzzier because we don't exactly know what kind of organizational budget we'll be working with. But we've tried to come up with ways to get people involved on sort of more short-term projects on a volunteer contract basis while we work toward building a financial base that allows us to hire more full-time people. So Bella will get into some of that. But yeah, we're just we like to think that we're friendly and approachable and creatively minded, and people come to us with good ideas about how they can help out, that we can try to enlist their skills. And we've had an incredible success so far with volunteer programs, which Bella can talk about. So yeah, thanks everyone for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. It's exciting to see everybody interested in learning more about climate neutral. I appreciate you taking the middle of your Tuesday to spend some time with us. Are you seeing my screen, which should be like kind of a beige screen, climate neutral? Okay, great. Before we jump into like too much detail about our kind of staffing needs and opportunities to get involved, I'm just going to run through like 10 minutes of background on what we're trying to do. So if you'll bear with me as I introduce climate neutral, I'll first direct your attention to your t-shirt. Many of us haven't been wearing pants during the last several months, but hopefully at least you've kept your t-shirt. And believe it or not, that t-shirt is like contributing to climate change. So it began as cotton, it was milled and picked and milled and then like shipped around the world. Each of those activities having a significant carbon footprint. So that by the time the t-shirt arrives at your doorstep, it's embedded with a lot of carbon emissions. And consumer products in general are contributing to this global rise in greenhouse gas emissions, which we've observed since the late 1800s. And in the history of this rise, we've tried lots of different things, international policy being chief among them. But if you look at the curve, the Kyoto Protocol was, in the late 90s, and carbon emissions have continued to rise. So climate neutral is trying to pull on different levers. And what we landed on is this realization that lots of Americans care deeply about the climate. 75% of Americans are concerned. 72% say global warming is personally important, and 77% say the sustainability of the brands that they buy from matters. So there's an opportunity here. and it's a marketing opportunity, really, for consumer brands. There's something that their customers care about, and they can pretty easily take action on climate change. So what we did is to launch this label, which hopefully you've seen on maybe holiday gifts that you've begun to buy or has shown up in your social media feeds. But what it signals to a consumer is that the brand that carries that mark cares about climate change. It's our job to build credibility and faith in the label, and we have an entire program that kind of undergirds the label that you see on the shelf. But to a consumer, it's a clear identifier that the brand that they're buying from is neutralizing their carbon footprint. And nothing like that had existed when climate neutral launched. Consumers were left, to make choices like using cardboard straws, which frankly doesn't really do anything, or way more extreme, moving into a solar-powered yurt, which most consumers aren't ready to do. So for someone who cares about the climate, and that's 75% of us, there's really no way in your everyday life to reflect your values through your actions as a consumer. And that's why we created the label. The first step of our program is to measure the brand's carbon footprint. And to do that, we created a software tool that makes carbon footprinting much simpler and faster. As we observed that carbon footprinting was a huge barrier to entry for companies hoping to become climate neutral. In our first year, we worked with over 140 brands, and these are some of our certified brands up on the screen now. As we move into our second certification cycle, which is beginning in January, which is extremely soon already, we're looking forward to working with more brands and importantly, larger brands. So last year, we certified 150 brands, which meant that 200,000 tons of certified carbon entered into our program. This year, with 250 brands total, we're looking at something like 1 million tons of carbon in our program. We are a small core team, but we do rely on a vast network of volunteers and contractors and just smart people in our orbit who help us out. You've got on the screen our core team and our board of directors. And very simply, we believe that every customer should be able to choose zero carbon brands. That's the whole point. And we believe that makes a real impact. What we're here to talk about today are, our immediate staffing needs, which we're looking currently for a director of measurement and impacts. This is someone who would come on to lead our strategy around carbon footprinting and the B, which is our carbon footprinting software tool, and impact, which is our strategy around carbon offsets in the voluntary carbon market. So that's the kind of experience that we're looking for in this position specifically. We also, though, have an extensive list of volunteer opportunities posted at climateneutral.org/volunteer. It's a smattering of different project types. We're looking for people with all kinds of different expertise, not necessarily climate related, could be design or marketing or analysis. So I do encourage everybody to check that out if you're trying to dip your toes into climate using your career's worth of expertise. It's a really good way to get involved. I'll turn it back to Austin to talk about possible future opportunities, and then I think it makes sense to just open up for questions.
Great. Thanks, both. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, so I think like you can kind of get a sense for what we're working on. It's a combination of overcoming technical challenges to better carbon management, as well as marketing and some communications around climate. So that's certainly the direction that we'll continue to grow in over the next 12 months. We've got an ambitious goal around recruiting more companies, which is again kind of back to marketing. But we also, on the technical side, think there's a lot more we can do with the tool that we've built and bringing that tool to more people, making it more fully featured, serving a bunch of additional use cases, taking its core, taking its source code and turning it into something that's open source that more people can build upon. And so that's that provides you, I think, a good sense of where we see the organization continuing to grow. As I mentioned earlier, some of that is contingent on finding both good people to work with us, but also finding funding. And that's something we're actively working on. But we'd love to just take any questions. We certainly got these roles posted now, and can chat more about those, or more about the theory of change that we've got, or just climate in general.
So Austin, I think it might be useful to give more context on like why carbon footprint measurement is hard, and like what is the alternative to what you guys are building. So for example, I often tell people that like before I got involved in the climate space at all, but when I was climate concerned, if you told me like, hey, Eugene, want to work on carbon accounting, I'd be like, I don't know about that. Like accounting sounds boring. But now my opinion is completely different about that.
It's a pretty fascinating one. But Billy, you can just like put me on mute if I get going too much here. I mean, it's pretty phenomenally sad when you see where exactly the world is today on carbon measurement. Basically, I would just say like the last 3 decades has been sort of the modern era of, hey, climate's a problem, we should do something about it. And the last 2 decades is, the modern era of, in order to do something about it, we should measure carbon emissions. And we're basically not much farther today than we were 2 decades ago. A lot of people have attempted or claimed or taken some steps to understand what their impacts are, but most companies out there still have no idea, and most companies certainly don't peek into their supply chains to try to figure out what their impacts are. And it's really just inexcusable, and the beginning of this year started with a lot of people saying, hey, this is going to be the decade of carbon transparency, which is just not what we need. We need carbon transparency to happen yesterday, and we need carbon, we need action. And so our sort of journey with this label started off really bumping into this problem firsthand, because we didn't intend to build software. Honestly, we thought we need to have a label that's going to certify companies. But when we looked out at the market, we basically found ourselves in this position where we anticipated having a conversation. Okay, hey, we think you should become carbon neutral today. Okay, cool. How are we going to do that? Well, to just tell us what your carbon emissions are, and then we'll help you buy carbon offsets and come up with some reduction plans. Well, we don't know how to do that. Well, you need to go hire a consultant. Well, the consultant's going to cost us $50,000, and at the end of that, we have a report. And what do we do with that? So, like that's a really difficult conversation. It's a difficult model to think about scaling, because most companies are just not going to spend that kind of money. In the last 18 months, we've seen a lot of proliferation around software tools, which is great. Unfortunately, most of them are following, in essence, the same sort of path, but technology instead of services. So companies will still have to come up with large budgets, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 for enterprise software licenses, and it's probably it's fair to say that the software tools that are being built are relying on the same underlying math that we're doing in our tool. meaning that the actual math of computing or estimating a carbon footprint just isn't that complicated. So for us, we sort of stumbled into this problem. We came up with a solution that was rather inelegant in its first phase, but served the purpose that we had, which was certifying a good number of companies in our first cycle, and then realized, like, wow, there are a whole lot more companies out there that could take advantage of this tool. Hopefully a large number of them will become certified, but even if they don't, if we can accelerate people's awareness and ability to measure carbon, then we're pushing things in the right direction, especially if we can put something into the hands of somebody who's struggling to find budget within their companies, or really looking to capture mind share of their CFO or their CEO by putting some numbers around, some approximate numbers around their carbon impacts, so that they can start to build a case about how to change organizations. So we're really trying to get inside the minds of the marketing, operations, and sustainability people within companies and just think, what's going to make their lives easier? And that's the thing that just doesn't appear to have happened in the last couple of decades. And that's you cannot solve a problem unless you understand how to sort of quantify it. So the other, the flip side is that we know how hard it is to build really great software, and we're not trying to build an enterprise software tool. We're trying to build a web tool right now, but have heard from people that there are a whole lot of other directions they'd love to see the tool grow in. And so that led us down this through an accelerator program we did this past summer, and then a bunch of other conversations led us down this track of thinking that maybe because of the incredible surge in interest among people who have expertise in technology, we can build a community around people who will contribute to this tool and to the growth of it in many more directions than we could support on our own. So we're really excited about that. Excited about the opportunity to crack this problem in a way that if you rely on just the status quo, is not going to scale, and that's really the challenge.
So it sounds like the existing software as a service companies basically based their pricing on being slightly cheaper than consultants, even though it doesn't actually cost them that much to measure it, right?
That's how I see it. I think there's different degrees of handholding that people want and need, but I think generally the pricing is not conducive to every company.
I see. Should we expect that it will get cheaper, like after I assume currently they're targeting the really big companies that can afford it, but like when they run out, somebody's going to have to target the smaller ones.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, a couple companies that we've seen have sort of cheaper or cheaper versions for smaller companies. I mean, I think the thing that helps to sort of anchor off of is what is the cost of abating carbon? Like what's the cost of carbon mitigation for a typical company? And the reality is, if you assume something like a $10 carbon price, it's not inconceivable that the company's total footprint over the course of a year times $10 a ton is a number that's half of what the consultant would charge you to measure that footprint, which seems sort of really like you're focusing on the wrong part of the problem here, right? Because if the measurement is that expensive, but dealing with what you've measured is that relatively cheap, like shouldn't we be focusing the resources on the second part of it? And even when you spend that much money on measurement, once you get beyond the immediate what's called scope 1 and 2 emissions of your company, you have estimates, and even consultants provide just general estimates in their reports. And so everybody has to get comfortable with imprecision, because that's just the nature of the beast. And so why kind of trick yourself into thinking that if I spend just another $10,000, I'll gain plus or minus 2 percentage points in precision, when in reality, once you've sort of looked at the landscape, and you understand where your input's coming from, you've got a pretty solid game plan in place to where you should be focusing. Spoiler alert, like if you're a company that makes stuff, most of the carbon that you are responsible for doesn't come from your lighting of your corporate office building. Most of your carbon is tied to your supply chain. And from there, look at what's going into your products, look at how those products are getting shipped. So we try to sort of focus people in on the things that really matter, and just introduce an honest conversation that forces people to stop pretending that just choosing renewable energy for my corporate lighting is going to make a big difference.
So we have a couple of questions that people have submitted in advance. Let's go through these and then take a bunch of live questions. Sounds reasonable. So the first question we have is, how do you coordinate volunteer projects that require a high degree of expertise and judgment from volunteers? And how often do you get work product that isn't what you wanted or anticipated? How closely do you work with the volunteers? Yeah, just like, what's your take on all that?
Yeah, great question. Bella, do you want to take a crack at that one?
Sure. Yeah. I'd first say that we've been so lucky to, just like I think hit at a good time. There are very skilled people interested in applying their skills that they've accumulated over the course of a career to the climate challenge. I think what we offer is like some window into some of the more climate specific expertise that it requires to work on climate. But what the volunteers offer is like their own expertise in something like Salesforce or design. And so we treat our volunteer engagements like we would contract engagements. So we're working very closely with our volunteers. It depends a little on the project, whether it's a long-term ongoing engagement or it's kind of a one-off product that we're looking to have delivered. So in the case where it's a more ongoing relationship, we work with our volunteers as though they're contractors. In the case where it's a kind of discrete project for a volunteer, we provide instructions and then we get back what we get back, and it's often super useful. But as a small team, we do just kind of put out some instructions and let people run with it. So it depends a bit on the engagement. But overall, I'd say we've just been nothing but impressed by the people who get in touch.
And the part of that question related to kind of how often we get back something that doesn't match what we're looking for. Not very often. We try to sort of start off with here's a 3 to 5 hour piece of work, even for the more technical things, and to spell out pretty clearly what we're looking for with that. And if it goes well, that may lead to another piece or something that's a little bit longer. We've had a couple cases where we haven't had any follow-on engagement. We've had a couple cases where people have come back with just hasn't been. There's a lot of excitement up front, like people get excited about helping us out, but then find their lives are busy and it's actually really hard to find time to complete something. And that's totally that goes with the territory. That's everyone who I've talked to who has put volunteer programs together. I think come to expect some of that, and no harm, no foul. It really is just the nature of this type of interaction. But in general, as Bella is saying, we try to provide pretty clear specifications for what's going to be helpful with the assignment, and then in some cases things just really take off. We've got a woman who's working with us on Salesforce configuration, and it's sort of like made me think, why should anybody ever pay for Salesforce configuration services when there are people out there who have incredible skills and are willing to offer them for free. That's been a real success for us. Started off with something small, grown into something bigger. We've got a guy helping us with Webflow design right now. Started out something small, is getting into something bigger. So a lot of good cases.
Yeah, it's great that you guys are a non-profit and are able, like legally able to have people offer their time as volunteers if they want to. Cool. The second question is, how is the price to offset 1 metric ton of carbon determined?
Yeah. There's certainly a short answer and then there's a long answer. Try to go medium. The price, there's just like thinking at a global scale, there's two different sort of markets for carbon. There's a voluntary market and there's a compliance market. The compliance market, would encompass all of the different regulatory or kind of government policy-driven carbon reduction requirements. There's one in California, New England, Europe. There's various markets around the world where policy sets rules determine how carbon needs to be reduced, and market sets prices according to the market design. We operate in the voluntary market, so we're basically working with companies that are purchasing carbon credits that can follow specifications that essentially people voluntarily establish. It's a self-policed market. There's no government entity looking after the carbon instruments, and so you have players in the market whose job it is to originate projects, players whose job it is to verify projects. They're kind of like the rating agencies of the carbon market, and there's players whose job it is to sell those credits and market those credits. So there's a whole ecosystem of players, and the ultimate price of a credit is dependent on a bunch of things, like what the underlying project is, how it is verified, when it came from, or what year it was created, and other things like what benefits it provided to ecosystems and to humans. And so there's a whole range of things that go into determining the price. It's not people I think hope that it's going to be a single commodity market. A ton of carbon is a ton of carbon, and that's not the way the voluntary market works. Especially when you look across project types, you can imagine that creating a carbon reduction by way of giving somebody a cook stove is a very different cost structure than creating a carbon offset by way of planting a tree. And so the carbon price varies widely. If anybody's taken economics 101, the concept of kind of marginal abatement cost is the idea that you can reduce a ton of pollution or a pound of pollution for a certain cost using one technology, and the cost of that abatement goes up as you get to more and more expensive technologies. The voluntary market picks from all across that spectrum. So some projects are high marginal abatement costs, and some are low marginal abatement costs, and depending on what the voluntary buyer, which is typically a company or an individual, depending on what type of project they're looking for, they may pick something $1,000 a ton, and they may pick something that's $5 a ton.
Do you do something to help companies choose the credible offset providers that are like less likely to suffer from leakage or additionality problem or something?
Yeah, we have a whole set of rules, and the folks who help us set those rules come from decades or more experience working in carbon markets. They've been on the side of buyers, corporate buyers. They've been on the side of public policy entities, environmental groups, project developers, and verifiers. And so we try to bring a range of stakeholder perspectives in establishing a set of rules that are also aligned with other major corporate buying initiatives. The airlines have put a lot of work in thinking through what carbon credits should look like. Independent entities like the Stockholm Environment Institute. There's a whole bunch of folks who kind of have looked at the market, and we've built a set of rules around all their recommendations that say to qualify for our climate neutral certified designation, you have to follow these rules when you buy a carbon credit. And honestly, you know, for a lot of corporate buyers, that's a lot of the mystery, or a lot of the perceived risk in doing anything around carbon offsetting is just not knowing where to start, what types of projects to focus on. So that adds a lot of value for the companies that we work with, and it's a major focus of this role, the direct measurement and impact. Half of that equation being, of course, measuring emissions, half of it being the impact on the end of it. You know, making sure that those carbon credits are actually doing what they promise to do.
I was just wondering, you know, I've taken a look at your Notion page of different volunteer projects, and I guess just I wonder if you could just give a little bit of talk through to that. It's quite detailed and interesting, but it's just a little bit hard for me to kind of skim and get a sense of where to start, or yeah, I think it's just kind of make it come a little bit more live, I guess.
Bella, bring it to life.
Alrighty. Well, yeah. I mean, why don't I just share my screen and we'll walk through it briefly. Give me one second. We're a Zoom team, so I'm a little slow. All right. Are you seeing my screen? Mm-hmm. The Notion page, the chart? Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, for starters, it's a table. So, I would say that, you know, like start by looking for things that aren't designed, which might be like most of them aren't designed at this point, but there are plenty that are work in progress at the moment. So you can kind of immediately disregard those just because somebody else is working on them. If you're looking to just kind of take a look at the kind of work that we're doing with volunteers, it's helpful context, so feel free to peruse. That's why we leave them up. But if you want to get involved, which is awesome, then focus on the not assigned items. Then from there, I would say to kind of filter by your area of expertise. So if you're a designer, you know, check out the design projects. You can, Notion is kind of fun because you can add filters or sort the sheet. So you can pretty easily kind of go through according to what you have to offer. So that should immediately kind of really boil down this list a bit. The structure of this sheet is such that, you know, we've got the short name for the volunteer opportunity. This is going to tell you the complexity level. So you've got carbon footprint virtual team, for example. We have it marked as high complexity because we really need people who have, you know, taken courses in life cycle assessment or have worked at conducting greenhouse gas inventories before. So that one's high complexity, but there are plenty that are, you know, available to anyone looking to kind of dip their toes in, which would be more at the low to medium range. And then, of course, it's your volunteer time, so we want you to know up front what you're getting into. So we tried to spell out how many hours we think is required to complete the task, and then when we need it done. So again, if you have time to offer around the holidays, maybe you're taking some time off, then you can sort the sheet for projects that are either immediate or you know, in the months of December, for example. But yeah, if you find something that catches your eye, couple of options. You can either comment right at the Notion page, or maybe more easy or easier. You can email us at volunteer@climateneutral.org and just tell us why you're interested. These items here. And then that just helps us kind of talk to you about what makes sense. You don't need to treat it like you're applying for a job, but it is really helpful to see a resume and just a quick expression of interest. Because these descriptions are short, and sometimes volunteers who reach out don't always uptake exactly what we're looking for. So I can kind of filter through their expression of interest and say, like, you might actually be more interested in this project, or would you be willing to work on this other project? Does that help? Or do you have questions now that this is up?
Yeah, that's helpful. And it's also just helpful to like put a face to things. So like you're literally the person we'd be emailing in this instance.
Isabella is volunteer at climate-neutral.org.
And then does complexity reflect domain-specific knowledge, or does it reflect job skill-specific knowledge, or both?
Probably both. Yeah. So if it's like, for example, in this one that we're looking at right here, domain specific in that we need somebody who has expertise in carbon footprinting, but skills specific as well. In that, like, we're also looking for someone who's pretty comfortable with cleaning up data and performing research tasks or light analysis. It's both.
It's a pretty weak rubric for a lot of things. I mean, how much you know, and also how many steps are involved. And how much this is like sit at your desk and do some research that we need versus do some face-to-face interaction with the brands that we work with, and or in some cases. Play kind of more of a customer service type role. Something that we've discovered is when people are kind of really just passionate about the project just feel better. So like an obvious statement, but like we found people who are intellectually interested in things, but not super passionate, and I don't know how to screen for that necessarily, but for folks who may be thinking about volunteering, if something in here is like, oh man, that would be so much fun to work on. That just leads to so much more, so much more successful volunteer engagements. Because we don't have a ton to offer, but if there's like tremendous satisfaction and just like real genuine curiosity, desire to learn, and inexplicable, almost weird excitement about these things, then it's going to go really well. I can pretty much promise you.
So I think one piece of information that I don't see quite included in the table is how important is the project to you? Like how critical is it that it gets done to your business? Is it to tell that?
Yeah, that's a good one. We should add that. Mission critical, something like that. Carbon footprint is mission critical. We should come up with a way to capture that thought.
Yeah, it's a good note. Yeah.
Yeah, what do other people?
I feel like we should cold call on people because everyone else is just listening quietly.
Is there a sort function by the time you need? There is. Okay, I'll figure it out.
Sorry, I just stopped screen sharing. I can put that up.
No, don't worry about it.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, you can sort. Yes, you can sort. But no, I'm sorry. Yeah. So you could look for like any time, or we didn't use dates, I guess. So the sort doesn't work perfectly, but maybe that's actually a good action for us to take too. Is to standardize that column so that it's more sortable.
So Bella, it looks like you actually can only sort and filter if you have edit rights to the page. For example, I don't, and I'm not able to do that.
Interesting.
But on the other hand, there's not that much stuff here, like not that many projects that it's like a big problem, I would say. I'm just saying.
That's great to know, though. We'll work on changing a setting if it's possible, because it is a nifty feature, something that we like about Notion.
Yeah, I've
I've
experienced similar with Notion. It doesn't quite want you to like allow people to filter and sort willy-nilly. It kind of wants a fixed view. It seems like Airtape's a little bit better for that. But anyway, we don't need to get into that discussion.
Well, that was a volunteer project to do a side-by-side comparison of Medium versus Notion versus Airtable versus. Any other questions we can answer for people? Happy to talk more about really anything.
Oh, it disappeared. Okay, it disappeared. Who muted themselves? Oh.
Yeah.
Say Shannon.
It doesn't. Actually, it looks like you're still alive, which means that it wasn't a lightning bolt, which is good to know.
Good to know.
It did something horrific when I unmuted.
When you muted, yeah.
Like a headphone malfunction, I guess.
Felt like your eardrums were being pulsed with some high voltage something. But
It was low frequency though, so
it was low frequency.
Yeah, it was more like
you're welcome.
Like a massager, like hitting your eardrums, as opposed to a piercing sound hitting your eardrums.
Sorry about that. I have a raft of questions. So one is, are you able to talk about the impact that brands see once they're certified? Is that something you're able to track?
Yeah, we've got so far anecdotal, evidence descriptions of kind of how their consumers are interacting with them around particularly social media posts and announcements. It's all been really positive. We've got anecdotes of someone saying, "Oh, I was thinking about buying this product, but I decided to buy that product because I saw the label on your product." We do plan not at the beginning of next year, but at the end of next year to do some more structured consumer surveying, some measurement of that, so we get a sense for how people are interacting with the label. It's still a little bit early to do that. We've also been talking to a nonprofit that focuses on behavior and climate change, and are looking to team up with. They have a pretty sophisticated research group. Team up with them on measuring response to the label. So that'll be pretty exciting to do that. Otherwise, the toolkit that we provide has been really well received by people from the beginning of certification through the enablement, and then the process of sort of exercising this new brand identity has been, I think brands have really benefited from the communication tools that we give them, because you'd be surprised, even relatively large companies that have long sustainability reports, in many cases don't know the difference between scope 1, 2, and 3. Couldn't explain the carbon offset if they had to. And the fact that we can enable them to do that relatively easily in a consumer-friendly language has been really, I think, productive for them. So, I mean, what else have we heard from brands? I think those are the main things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, any chance you can show what the tools look like? What it's like to use them?
Yeah. We could. Bella, do you want to? We could either flip through. We've got a new UI we're putting out late this month. We could either flip through some stills of that, or a live B, whatever you think.
Isabella, you're muted.
Here she goes.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's take a look at the B, which will be released in early January. And we're pretty excited about. So I'll show you all that now. Yeah, this is just a clickable design. The tool exists and has existed since about this time last year, and it's beta version. And our second beta version is coming out in early January. So when you get to the tool, you begin by estimating your carbon footprint. And this is kind of walking the user through all of that. You tell the tool what you make or what service you provide, how much you spend making that product or providing that service, and then where you make it or where you provide the service. And so all of these screens are kind of walking the user through what do you make, how much do you spend, and where do you make it. That information should take the user like 10 minutes if they have some basic financial data in front of them. At this point, we're running the data through an economic input-output model. The inputs that go in are financial. We're running them through economic data tables. So, for example, spending on an aluminum product, based on what we know about sector-wide spending habits, we know that there's some spending on plastic and some chemical coatings. And also that to make this product, there were utilities used and corporate air travel and all of that stuff. So all of those assumptions are baked into the model at this point. And the calculation is purely based on what you make, where you make it, how much you're spending. So in a couple of minutes, the brand is provided with an initial estimate. So this is very coarse. It is not their carbon footprint. However, it's a really good ballpark. It's based on average spending habits. It's usually conservative, and it shows the brand their scope 1, which are direct emissions, scope 2, which are emissions from purchased electricity, and then the big one, which is scope 3, which are all of the supply chain emissions. We're giving people some nice visualizations right off the bat. And again, all of these are estimates. So what our tool did was it flowed out the spending on plastic products to lots of different predictable things, business activities. And once we have that information, we correlate all of that to carbon. And that's what's being represented here in this sunburst. Our certified brands refine this estimate. So the process of refinement is taking operational data and overriding the tool's estimate. So you add in your specific operational details. So based on economic tables, the tool might estimate that we spent $70,000 on aluminum products, but we in fact know that we purchased 2,000 kilos of aluminum chromium 626. And so we tell the tool that. And we do that across our climate footprint. And these are lots of wireframes about getting to that point. But the refinement process is not in this Sigma. But anyways, it's the process of taking operational data and correcting the model. And you can do that in the tool with monetary data, so how much did you spend? Operational data like gallons of gasoline or diesel, kilowatt hours of electricity, therms of natural gas. You can always accept the tool's emissions. And that's actually a really big deal. In carbon footprinting, there are always estimates. Even in your most state-of-the-art approaches, data is really hard to track down, especially when you work with contract manufacturers. So there are aspects of the footprint that have to be estimated. We start with a high-level estimate, and then we have our brands refine. The traditional approach to carbon footprinting is that you start with your operational data and you build a carbon footprint up. We found that approach misses aspects of the footprint because you don't have the operational data, you're not counting the carbon. Whereas what we're doing here is we're highlighting all of the carbon you should have to count. We're offering you the opportunity to refine where you have data. So that's the tool. I'm sorry that I ran out of wireframes to click through, but that's the basic gist of it.
What do the $20,000 SaaS companies do that this doesn't?
We don't know yet. Bella, you had a couple more recent conversations than I have. I think there's definitely an investment in workflow tools that we haven't invested a ton in because, again, our initial use case was that we'd be working pretty closely with the brands, coaching them through. Having said that, I know that some who started off thinking that they would just solve everything through technology found that they've actually had to work more into a combination of services and technology because people always have a hard time getting their head around the problem initially. So I don't know that workflow tools necessarily solve all the user issues.
Oh, sorry, Austin. Sorry.
Yeah, one more thing to add is I think some of the folks are trying to find ways to turn this type of data into more of a real-time carbon management platform, meaning from day to day or week to week, I can track my carbon emissions and I don't know exactly kind of how actionable that type of analysis is, but at least people like being able to see that January my carbon emissions were here, February they were here, March, April, May, June. I think most of the most significant decisions on the footprint are longer term and don't depend on whether your carbon emissions fluctuated 10% month to month or week to week. So we haven't stressed particularly about that use case. So we're totally willing to cut corners on things that we don't think have as much impact. What other things am I missing, Bella, as far as what the industry is doing?
Sorry to jump in earlier. I think they will spend a lot of time with you setting up a lot of integration points. And that's a huge reason why we're open sourcing the tool too, is so if a company wanted to take our calculation engine and integrate to their accounting software or anywhere else you collect these data that you need to perform a carbon calculation, you could just do that. Any company that's paying for enterprise software likely has the kind of development support to build some simple integrations. And the trouble with integrations is that there are a million different systems that you could integrate with. So trying to anticipate all of them is not something that makes sense for us. But once we open source it, our hope is that those are built out of necessity and enter into the code base.
I think some of the SaaS companies also do things like help you make a plan for reducing your footprint, like suggest alternative suppliers and so on. So I guess that. I don't know what else.
Point people more toward the actions that they can take. And that's certainly something that we would like to help with. We kind of on the reduction end of things, we have 125 people now that participate in our internal kind of brand community Slack channel. And they're kicking ideas back and forth. Hey, we're looking to place a new packaging order for next year. Can someone tell us what they've considered as far as biodegradable packaging or low waste low weight packaging or better shipping options. So there's a lot of peer-to-peer information sharing that we're trying to have take the place of any sort of like top-down recommendations that we're making, because it's just an area that we have a ton of expertise in. But we also think that like the best endorsement is like, hey, this works for us. You know, we're $100 million business, you're $100 million business, and so probably gonna work for you too. But we'll continue to look at that.
Cool. So we're at the end of our time slot. But we probably might have time for one more question, unless anybody has to drop off immediately.
Yeah. Any final questions?
I got a continue one. So
we'll give you a chance to answer.
As you say that the math is not that complicated, but getting the source data, as discussed, is the challenging thing. Are you able to specifically estimate footprints for apparel, or what is the scope of your footprint project?
Yeah, great question. There are a finite number, but a good number of emission factor data sets that are available in the world. And we chose breadth over depth when we built the tool, so we could credibly create footprints for pretty much any company that comes to us. What you do sacrifice is we don't have 75 different kinds of polyester. Maybe we only have 17. And we found a couple cases where people have wanted us to really capture, the decisions that they've made on choosing polyester version 56 as opposed to one from the list that we have. And so for fashion and apparel, that comes up because there has been a lot of attention, particularly with the Sustainable Apparel Coalition, attention to collecting really detailed emission factor data. That's awesome, right? I mean, we hope that people will continue to do that. Just the problem that we're trying to crack is kind of being able to attack more sectors as opposed to depth. And we work with brands who are part using the HIG tools and are also using our tools, and they can sort of peacefully coexist. There are other places where we've looked at pulling in more bespoke emission factors to support different types of coffee growing methods or different types of metals, or when there's a more robust way of estimating emissions, we certainly want to pull that in. Over time, we'd love to get to more of a modular approach where if there's an industry-specific emission factor set, someone can just pull that in, and they'll have access to those emission factors within the core architecture of the tool, and then be able to kind of use the other emission factors for the other things that they don't have detailed information on. Because remember, we're talking about brand level footprints and not product level LCAs. And so in addition to the product level details that are specific to the industry, you're still going to have air travel and shipping and corporate utility usage and all the many things that encompass the brand level footprint. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks. So final thing, we encourage people who attend work on climate events to share something they learned from the event, sort of to solidify the information in your mind, and to show an example to others that you come to these events to learn. So I will post a thread and share your path where you can do that, and I'll link it from the event thread on events and encourage people to do that. Okay.
That's awesome. I mean, Gene, thank you so much for having us on. We really appreciate it, and everybody for joining. We love to talk about this stuff. We love to work on it. We're super passionate, and it's great that you guys are all thinking about climate. So thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. This has been great.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
Awesome.
Good day, everybody.